Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. We have got a fun project to make today. I kind of went all out this week, and we're going to make a loaded envelope full of lots of goodies for you to create with. My name is Loritamarie from Loritamarie Crafts, and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator in Calgary, Alberta, and I come here live on Thursdays so that I can share fun tips, techniques, ideas, and inspiration with you to help you take your paper crafting supplies and turn them into beautiful projects, or to find the joy of being creative at all, because it's so much fun and it's easier than you think. So yeah, like I said, this week we've got a really fun project. And my goal is to always create ideas for you so that you have fun ways to be creative as well. And so one way I do that is through a monthly class that I offer called my Stamp and Create class. And so these are always a bit more elaborate projects. If you're in Canada, I can send you the whole kit with products included, which means you get DSP and ribbon and embellishments, and I cut all the cardstock and do all the die cutting for you. So if you don't have the bundle, it all works out, and I design them in a way that if you don't have that stamp set, you could insert in any stamp set that you have. So I want to share this month's class because it's super cute, and today is the very last day to sign up for it. So I don't want you to miss out. So if you're ever looking for information on my classes and what I have available, you can always check out loritamariecrafts.ca, shop classes, and then you're going to see links to all the classes that I have open for registration at the moment. Okay, so this one features the Mediterranean Blooms suite. So you can get the whole product-based class, and you're going to get everything you need to make this. Or if you just want the tutorial, you can definitely purchase the tutorial, especially if you live outside of Canada, I can't ship you product, so you can get the tutorial. And then you're going to get the step-by-step instructions with a full video tutorial on how to make this little mini album. So it's 5x7, so it's a little bit bigger than some of the ones I've done over the last few months. And I put this because you can make it like a little mini scrapbook. It's, flips out. It's got fun pages. I'm not going to show you all the details now, but you can tweak it and design it to what works for you. And you don't have to put in pictures if you don't want to, or you can fully make it a little special memory book summer of a little trip. It'll be perfect for that. And it features this amazing Mediterranean Blooms paper, which has these really lovely like blue patterns, plus the lemons and the oranges, which is really fun. And you're gonna get gems and ribbon and cardstock. So I always include a selection of cardstock that matches, so you'll always have ways to continue to create with what you've got. Okay, so that's that. Today's the very last day, so you've got to sign up by the end of today. You just have to go to my website and fill out a form, and then all the details are there. Or you can always contact me if you need a hand. Yesterday actually the day before were free shipping, and if you didn't get to take advantage of that, it's still bonus days until the end of July. And if you can believe it, what have we got? Next Wednesday is the last day of July, which is crazy. So bonus days is when you spend $60. Every $60, you get a $6 coupon. So you can spend more than that. You can build them up, and then you get to use those coupons in August, and you can like stack them. So if you've got 5 coupons, you can use all 5 on one order. So that's pretty cool. So you want to take advantage of that. And maybe I'll convince you about the Round We Go bundle today, because that's what we're going to be creating with. So let me come down to my desk, and this is a little more involved. So this might go a little longer than my usual half hour, but I had so much fun with this project, and so I'm hoping I can keep my desk organized while we create together today, but bear with me as we make all the different things. So I recently had a class, my summer splash class, where we made a set of projects with the Round We Go bundle, and everyone loved this bundle. I think everyone fell in love with it. It's so much fun to make these cute little rosettes, little flowers, and have a lot of fun with them. And so the class was all the bright, fun, summery in colors, right? So from Unbounded Beauty, plus just the in colors. So like Summer Splash, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, right? So it was bright and summery, and everyone loved it. If you still want the tutorial for that, I'm selling my past tutorials on my website too, so you can always check those out. That one's just a PDF tutorial, but it takes you step by step. Anyway, so I was thinking I wanted to make today with this bundle with a completely different look. I didn't want it to look exactly the same, even though I love all the new in colors. So I'm actually going back to an old fave here, which is the A Little Latte DSP, which is this fun coffee suite that's an online exclusive. And it's got great patterns. And I thought that it would be fun to use it because, you know, if you've got someone who loves coffee, well, then it would make a really fun gift. But I also, the point was to show you that you can take this bundle and then put it with any of your favorite papers and products, and you can, obviously it's going to have a completely different look and be really awesome. So we're going to make something called, well, what people call a loaded envelope, but mine's technically a bag, not an envelope, I've got to admit. So this is just a way to pack in a lot of little cute things into one little thing, one container. So I'm just trying to grab my DSP here. I've got lots of steps for us today. So follow along, get all the dimensions. But if you're on my email list, I always send out a PDF with dimensions and supply list. Just in my email, it's a special gift for my email subscribers. Okay, so bear with me here. We're going to make 5 projects today. So the first one is the little bag. And so you're going to grab a piece of DSP that you want for your bag, and you're going to cut it to 5 by 12. So I'm going to cut this at 5 inches here. And then it's already 12 inches, of course. And then we're going to score it. So it's going to actually look like this. The pattern's going to be like this. So I'm going to score 1 inch along what would be the bottom. Okay. Then we're going to turn it this way, so on the long edge, and we've got to score it quite a few times. So I'm just going to pull out my extender here. And we're going to score this at 4 3/4. And we're going every 1/2 inch because we're making like a little gusseted bag. So we started at 4 3/4, then 5 1/4, then 5 3/4. And then we want to go all the way over to 10 1/2. And then again, we're going to go every 1/2 inch. So 10 1/2, 11, and 11 1/2. So we're going to use this full 12-inch piece. Okay, so let's move this out of the way. Okay, so then we're just going to go ahead and burnish all our folds here. And so this is making the bag here. So the first one is at 4 3/4. We want to do like a mountain fold. Then we're going to take the next 1/2 inch and do like a valley fold. So you're going to go the opposite direction. And then we're going to go back this way. Feeling like it was crooked there for a second, but it wasn't. And so what ends up happening is it's going to look like this. Okay. So we'll go do the same thing here. So we're going to fold this over, and these are the sides of your little bag. Then we're going to fold it in. We're going to fold it out. Okay, so it's going to look like that. So this piece here, there's a little 1/2 inch strip at the end. We're going to cut off the little corner. So we're going to make it a little wedge. Let's see if I can get this. So I don't need this corner piece at all. And I'm just going to wedge it out just so it closes up a little better. So that's what that looks like. And then we can also wedge out that corner too. So this is like the flap that's going to hold your bag together. And then along this score line, so you're going to leave the middle one, but the next score line, we're going to snip along that. And then on our little tab, we'll cut that out too. Just so it fits inside our box better. This is making, obviously, the bottom of the box. You don't even have to really wedge it out if you don't want to. Okay. Now we're going to grab some tear and tape. And we're going to put it on the outside of this little flap, and that's how this little bag is going to go together. So we're going to be using every one of the Round We Go dies as we go along through all the projects too. So you're going to see how all of it works, how all of it goes together, all the fun things that you can do with it. And so it's gonna be awesome. So you can actually just fold this down and then grab this side here and close it up like that. And then that's easier. And then you can see we've got our little bag. Okay, so we're going to fold in the sides and then just make sure, where is the back? So I use the back as where I closed up the bag, which I did such a good job, I can't tell. Okay, so that's the seam. So I want to fold, so that's the seam there. I'm going to fold this in and this one over so that that's the front of my bag, just to keep the seam at the back. And so how I'm going to put this together is I'm going to do tear and tape, just because that's easier. And if I can get in there, I'm going to actually do 2 strips of it. Okay. There we go. And we'll just peel off the backing and close up our box. So to keep that a little more sturdy, I wanted to put a piece of cardstock inside. And so I've got this little piece to go inside, and I've just made it like a 1/16 smaller than the bag. So that ends up being, it's kind of a weird number, but it ends up being like 4 and, okay, let me just say this will be easier. This is 4 3/4. Just cut it a 1/16 of an inch smaller, or just a hair smaller. You don't even have to measure it. And then the bag is 1 inch wide, so just cut it a hair smaller, so like 15/16. Put some adhesive on the bottom, and then drop it inside. It'll be a perfect fit. And then that just gives a little stability to our bag. Okay, so that's the bag. We're going to put a little pocket on the front. And so for that, we're going to need another piece of DSP. And so I've just got a coordinating pattern. So again, I'm using the latte, but you can just picture this with any of your favorite paper. So this piece is 5.5 by 3. So 5.5 by 3. We're on this long side here, we're going to score it 1 inch from either side. So 1 inch that way, 1 inch this way, and then at just a 1/2 inch along the bottom. So whatever is the bottom to you on your pattern, a 1/2 inch on the bottom. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and fold these like so. And then how we're going to cut this is we're going to wedge out. We don't need this corner piece here on either side. So I'm going to cut it at an angle there. And then I'm going to cut this one at an angle too. So it ends up looking like this. And we'll do the same thing on this side. And it just, I'd never measure it. Just wing it. Just go for it. Okay, so then for our pocket, I'm going to go like this, okay? And so I'm going to put the sides in first and my flap up at the outside. So I actually only need adhesive a little bit on the outside here, just to kind of seal that up. And then, so I've just been using Seal Plus for that. And then this, because I want it to stick to my bag and not go anywhere, I'm going to use tear and tape. And we're going to go ahead. Okay. I hope we're able to finish all our projects today. We might have to go a little over time today. This might be one that you definitely want to save and come back to and get all the details of how to make this. Okay, so this is the front of my bag, and I'm just centering this the best I can here. Oh, don't put it on crooked. Oh dear. Of course. That was very crooked. This is what happens when you do it on camera. I think I can get it. There we go. I was like, no. Okay, so now we've got our little pocket. And we're going to put a little decoration on it. And I've gone ahead and I'm cut out most of the things so that we can just speed this up. But in the dies here, we have got these 2 fun shapes. One has like a pointy end and one has a rounded end, and the pointy one is slightly bigger than the small one, and those create cute little flowers or things like that. And Pig says, let's go for today. Let's be long. Let's go for it. Yes. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a glue dot there. So you could cut 2 out of the same size. You can do this where I did one of each size. It doesn't really matter. I've cut this out of the DSP. This is the one that has like, it's Calypso Coral and has cute little coffee beans on it. And then I'm going to put a dimensional right in the back. One just fits just so. And I'll put this, and I'm keeping this simple because I've got lots else going on in this project. So this is the stamp set, and there's lots of fun kind of birthday sentiments in here. And so I'm going to use Hip Hip Hooray. And I'm going to stamp it in early espressos to match our project here. And I've just got like a 1/2 inch strip of basic white. I just have a little collection of these from when I cut insides of cards. I always have like a bunch. Doesn't have to be a certain length, whatever sentiment you're doing. I'm just going to snip it off like that. And I'm going to put a dimensional, let's see, no, I'm going to put a glue dot on this end that's going to go in the flower. And then I'll put a dimensional on the other end. Okay. And then that's going to be that. So this is just the little outside of our starting of our little envelope / bag. You can add gems. This suite has these really fun swirl dots. So you can definitely go ahead and embellish as you go along with all of those gems. I like to kind of go at the end and kind of go crazy. So, and then you can kind of flip this up and make that 3D if you want. So that's the bag. So now we have to fill it. So bear with me. We have lots of fun things to go. So, oh, what did I just drop? Dropping things. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is a card. Okay, so we're card makers. We've got to have a card in there. And let's grab all my pieces. So our card base is going to be early espresso. And then I'm going to have pool party. And then just choose whatever DSP that you want that goes well with this. I need a bigger desk for this project. That's what I need. So I've chosen this one that kind of looks like the little coffee rings. So the pool party is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to use seal to put this on. Okay. And then my DSP is just 1/4 inch smaller. So it's 3 3/4 by 5. And I wanted this pattern that was light and white so that all the details on my card would pop off and not compete for attention there. Okay, so I've got a piece of basic white, and now we are going to use these stamps because I realized I hadn't shown how to use these stamps really yet. So there's this larger one that has a rounded edge, and then there's a smaller one that has the pointy. So we're going to use both of those. Okay, so let's pick up that one. Will it fit on that one? Not really. Grab the right blocks. D is the best. Block fits all the things, right? Okay, so I'm going to use colors that match. And we're going to go ahead and stamp in Lost Lagoon. And I'm going to be cutting these out. And so I just want room to cut it out. So I'm going to stamp it full strength, and then I'm going to turn it slightly, and then I'm going to stamp it again, okay? And so you kind of have to lean over and look through and line it up. I found when I was looking through, it's like when you can't see anything because the color is kind of in the off space, then it lines up pretty good. So that does take kind of a little bit of practice, but also show yourself some grace when you're stamping, and it doesn't have to be totally perfect, right? So we've got that one. And then I'm going to do a second one in Calypso Coral. So same thing. I'm going to stamp it full strength, and then turn it slightly until it's lined up, then stamp it again. Oh, this looks so fun. I love it. Okay, and then we're going to do a little one with the other. Is it going to fit on there? Yes. Okay, so we're going to do a third one with a smaller stamp, and this time I'm going to use Petal Pink just for some contrast. Remember, Petal Pink is a color buddy with Calypso Coral, and Lost Lagoon and Pool Party are color buddies. So if you're looking for things to go together, you can always just get its lighter tone or darker tone. Okay. So there we go. So this is the stamping and cutting out we're going to do. Everything else I'm just going to show you how to put together. So I will need my Stamp and Cut Emboss machine. I would have done some of this ahead of time, but I had so many different pieces to cut out. I just kept going. So we're going to use this large scallop piece, and that will match up with that. And then we've got these two fun pieces here that actually cut out like a little detail. So you just kind of have to center it on top, and then you can use washi tape or a Post-it note to hold that in place if you find it hard to hold it in place. I just find if I got lots of practice, right? So I just kind of push down on my plate. Okay, I will have to get my little take your pick tool out there, but you can see it cuts out all these little holes. So we'll cut those all out in a second. I think I need to clean out my die, which is why I kind of stick it in there. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Try not to bonk it. Woo. Okay, and we'll get that. And I guess I could have cut that other one out at the same time, but that's okay. This one I'm just going to do that outline. So this one's a smaller shape, and it's got the pointy edge to it. So we'll cut that one out. Excuse the shaking of my camera while I use the machine. Okay, that's all the fussy parts. So this one, you can use your little brush that you can get for your take your pick tool to kind of clean out all the holes or just poke them out. For some dies, I don't fuss because if it's a little flower with a little leaf, and I don't fuss with all the little holes. But this one, you really do need all the holes cut out or it's going to look funny. It definitely cut it easy, so there's nothing sticking there. Okay. So let's get all our elements, all right? So we've got these, and then I want to put centers in all of these. So you're going to see that we've got two little circles here, two different sizes. So I cut out the smaller one for this one, so that fits just right. So I'm going to use a glue dot for that. So liquid glue, glue dot, whatever you want. And then I've just gone ahead and matched. So I've got in the larger circle, so this one here, I've got a Calypso Coral one for this circle. And then I've got a Lost Lagoon one for the other one. Okay. And I got one hole, 2, 3. I want to get them all. Okay. So we've got that. Then we need sentiment. So I wanted this all heat embossed. I love embossing. So I did it all ahead of time. So thankfully you don't have to watch me emboss everything. If you don't have any embossing tools or you don't want to, then just stamp a color. Like just stamp like Lost Lagoon on white. You could even stamp Lost Lagoon on Pool Party and that will show up. For the other one, you could just stamp Early Espresso on white. So this, like I said, the Round We Go stamp set has all these great sentiments kind of to mix and match for birthdays. So here I've got, this is your day. And then you'll see here it actually has day, month, and year. So you can customize that to whatever you want. You can cut this straight. I'm going to just quickly, ooh, maybe not very well, but I'm going to quickly fussy cut this out. Okay. And then I've got hip hip hooray. This is your day, hip hip hooray. And it's a bonus that rhymes for us today. Right? Perfect. And this is on early espresso. So you can just stamp early espresso on white if you don't want to emboss. And I'm going to trim mine kind of nice and close. And then because I'm using the coffee paper, I've got to work in the coffee. So I've already gone ahead and done this because I've done other videos on the Latte Love Bundle. So definitely go back and check those out. But I've just stamped the cute little coffee cup from the Latte Love stamp set. And I've colored it in with my Stampin' Blends. And so I've used Lost Lagoon and Pecan Pie for the coffee. And now we're going to layer this all up onto our card. So I'm going to grab these two first. And we'll just put a little adhesive in the center. So we're going to put this one up here and this one down here. Then we're going to grab dimensionals on our smaller petal pink flower here. Okay. And I'm just going to lightly put this here. Let's see. Oh, that's probably right where I want it. Then I'm going to add some linen thread because that's just my jam. So you don't have to do this step if you want to just simplify it. I'm just cutting about 12 inches. It doesn't even have to match. Just loop it back and forth. And then I just shove it in a glue dot. And I'm just kind of going to tuck it back here because then we're going to put our coffee cup over top. And so just to layer this up, I'm only going to put dimensionals on the side that's going to be over here. You put a little adhesive there. Okay, that's that one. And then we're going to use glue dots for that. Hip hip hooray. And then I think I'm going to use dimensionals for this. So one on that one, and then we'll use mini on the other one because it's kind of small. So we'll use a couple mini. That's why it's so nice that there's two sizes. And I'll just peel off the backings. If you find it hard to peel off your backings, try your take your pick tool just to help you get the backings off. So this is your day. Something like that. Okay. I'll fold that up. And so that is our cute little card. Isn't it fun? And it's fun to see this bundle with different paper. And so where's our bag? This is our bag. So that's going to fit in great. That's why I made the bag 4 3/4 wide so that it would easily fit a card inside. Okay, we're going to go through a little faster for some of the other things because, let's see. We're going to make a rosette. Let's do that because it's going to have to dry because I want to show you how the rosette goes together. So we'll just, this is how you clean off your glass mat. You just wipe it off. Mine needs a good wipe down actually. To make the rosette, we've got a few steps here. And I watched a few, so it's just kind of getting some practice and being comfortable with it. And then once you get the hang of it, you're going to love making these things. So that's what this die is for. It is going to make our rosette. So you can make a small one, so cut out 2. And if you want it a little bit bigger, you can cut out 3, 4, you know, it kind of, then you have to just spread out. You'll see what I mean in a second. And I wanted to point out that it cuts out pointy side and a round side. And so you can choose if you want the pointy or the round out. So I'll show you how to do that in a second. So now you've got this, it's got all those little tiny score lines in it. If you can see them on this paper. Already done for you. And there's a tab at one end. So that tab you're going to fold down and then just fan fold the rest. So I've done the other 2 so that you don't have to watch me do this 3 times. But you're just fan folding. So just opposite way all the way down. And those score lines actually come in really good. So it's going to help you get this nice and straight. I used to try rosettes on my own by doing all the scoring, and I just hated the work. Like, I'm kind of like, can I make this easier somehow? That's how I like to craft. Can I make this easier somehow? So Stampin' Up! Did that for me. So all the score lines are there. So I've gone ahead and done the other two. And then for the rosettes, liquid glue is your best friend. There's no other way about it. I don't use liquid glue very often. So you're going to put glue on the tab, and then you're going to grab the other end, so not the other tab end, and then you're just going to line it up, and then you do have to hold it just for a little bit till it sets. I tried Seal Plus. I tried tear and tape, and none were strong enough. They all popped off. Okay, so just you have to kind of just use your liquid glue for this one, and it's going to hold, it's going to stay, and I haven't had one come apart when I did that. So it takes a little patience, but it comes together pretty good. Okay, and then our last one is going to make a loop, right? So we'll put a little glue on that. And then we're going to loop it around. And if you're doing this on your own, like, you probably wouldn't rush it like I'm doing, right? So you would hold it till it's good and secure. But that is the good thing about this glue, is that it does dry pretty fast. Okay, so we'll leave that for a sec. Then you're going to use, I find it easiest to use the largest scalloped shape. And so I've cut one out, and this is going to be like the back of your rosette. And that's how you're going to make it. Okay, so you're going to need your liquid glue again, and you're going to want to put glue over the whole thing. Just be generous. And then what we do is you can push down, or you can pick it up and kind of make it go in. Come on. Okay, so if I fold it this way, I've got pointy sides. Does that make sense? If I fold it the other way, I don't know why I'm so uncoordinated today. Here we go. Come on. You just flip it around. And now I've got the scalloped way. So you can choose either way. And now that I've got this going, so I found it easier to kind of get it started and then center it on that. Or I don't know what I found easier. Do you know, we did this at my class, and almost every person found it easier than I did. Every person did it better than I did. I was like, okay, I can show you the technique, but apparently I can't do it. So you just kind of get it onto your base and hold it down. I'm going to slide mine off. Look how uneven that is. You kind of have to see, right? So I'm going to just slide that so that's centered. If you were putting this on a card, it wouldn't matter so much because you don't see it. But because I'm making a decoration here, and I'm just going to hold it down till it stays. And then what you do, okay, it really does stay. You know how things go on video, right? I'm going to put a block on it. I'm going to let that sit, and we're going to decorate the rest of it in a minute, just to make sure that it's dry. So the next thing I'm going to show you is something really quick and easy, and that's a little bookmark. And I just want to walk you through the steps so that you have the dimensions, but then we'll just have the completed one. So I've got a piece of early espresso here that's 1 3/4 by 6. And then I've just chosen a piece of DSP and cut it 1/8 of an inch smaller. So you could do 1/4 of an inch if that's easier for you. But so this is 1 5/8 by 5 7/8. Then I'm going to grab some awesome ribbon that matches. So I love this Pecan Pie Center Stripe. It's an online exclusive. And I want about 9 inches, and I'm going to fold it in half like so. I'm just going to show you the completed one in a second. And I do want a little bit sticking out the top, and I just use tear and tape to hold that down. the next step was to cut out a piece of DSP. So that's with that largest scallop shape. So that's going to go over top. And then just like we did on those fun flowers for the card, I'm going to use these two dies. So I've got this fun pointy edge. I can't think of another way to call it, the pointy edge. And then I layered it up with this one that cut out the little circles. And I did that in pecan pie. And then I used a sentiment from the Latte Love. So that's "You're the best part of my day." And so I put this on with dimensionals, and then I put this on with dimensionals. And then let's show you what the completed one looks like. And then you have a cutie bookmark there. So you can put stuff on the back. But that was just kind of simple. So that is something that can go in our little bag. Can tuck that in. So now we have two things for our bag. Let's finish up our, should we finish up our decoration? No, I think we'll do that last. Then we're going to make a little gift card holder. So, I mean, if you're going to give a coffee gift, you've got to have a gift card holder, right? So this one is Early Espresso again. And I've got this 2 3/4 by 7.5. So 2 3/4 by 7.5. We're going to turn it this way, and I'm going to score at 3/4. And because it's a tiny measurement, I'm going to go this way first. But then I'm going to flip it back around. So as if I had gone this way, 3/4, and then 4 1/4. Okay. And then this little piece folds up, this piece folds down, and then you've got a little lip there that goes like this. So how we're going to decorate this one is, again, I'm trying to make this quick, and I'm almost done. I'm going to get some basic white to put on the inside, and this is 2.5 by 3 1/4. So that's just to fit on the inside. And then we can grab our Round We Go stamp set and stamp to and from. And I just used Early Espresso. And then this is like the little flap for your gift card. So I was going to grab a gift card if we had one in the house, and then I totally forgot. Let's see what I got here. Right? So something that's going to fit in there. So I would just, again, use a little bit of liquid glue and to hold that down so that you've got a pocket to tuck that in. Again, I tried tear and tape, but it wasn't staying, so I would use liquid glue. And then to decorate it, I've got this itty bitty piece of DSP. So I went 1/8 of an inch smaller. So again, if that's too tiny, then go ahead and do 1/4 of an inch. So it ends up being, let's see, 2 5/8 by 5/8, right? So that's kind of tiny. So I just went 1/8 of an inch smaller. And then on the cover, my DSP, again, 1/8 of an inch smaller, works out to be 2 5/8 by 3 1/8. Okay. So we'll put that on. And then I've cut out another scallop, right? So these dies can be all sorts of layers. So think outside the rosette. And so I've cut that out just in a different pattern from my DSP. And I love dimensionals. And this isn't going inside a card, so you can go dimensional crazy. I'm going to put that on the front. We're going to cut a little bit of ribbon, about 5 inches. And then I think I'm actually going to put some tear and tape on there. And I just want it to kind of fold in half like that. And then we've got our coffee theme going, right? So I've got another coffee cup like what I showed you before. And this one I was colored with my Calypso Coral and Pecan Pie Stampin' Blends. Dimensionals on that. And then I've got another sentiment, and I've already, see I've got on a scrap here. Let's go ahead. This is from the Round We Go again. Lots of great birthday sentiments. This says, "Time to celebrate." And you could just cut it out straight. If you don't want to fussy cut, you can stamp it Lost Lagoon or Early Espresso on white, whatever, if you don't want to emboss either. You never have to do all the steps. This one, I kind of, like I said, this project, I kind of went crazy and I did all the things. So that's why we're having such a long class today. This actually sometimes might be something I turn into a class, but it was just fun to make this week. So time to celebrate, and then you can add some gems. So we would seal that up, and then you've got a cute little gift card holder. Okay, this one fits perfect in the pocket, right? So now we've got the perfect size thing in our little pocket. We've got our card. All we need is our rosette, so we should be pretty good. And yours is going to look better than mine because you're going to take the time to make it look nice. So, oh, let's take it. So now we need to layer up the front. So I've got another scallop piece, and I've got it in Lost Lagoon. And again, nothing's going to work like the liquid glue, so just commit to the liquid glue here for this project. So we'll just hold that down. And then you're just going to build up your layers. So these all, you can see, they layer up together perfectly. So my next layer, I did that same thing with the pointy and this one here. This one just cuts a little bit smaller, so sometimes it's hidden by other details. Okay, I think we should be good. And so we've got, I'm going to put dimensionals and then ribbon actually before we put that down. Yeah, we're going to put our ribbon on first. So your ribbon, this is going to go on a stick. You could tie a bow at the bottom if you like. You could do what I'm doing here, and I'm just going to put some tear and tape on here. Just making sure not to go to the edge because then you'll see it. And then I think I used about like 15 inches of ribbon. And then it just needs to stick off a bit. And we're just looping it big, kind of like that. Then we'll grab our next layer. Come on. And we'll put that on. And then I'm going to put, oh, I have one more little circle. That is this one, the last one we haven't used. So this one has a little emboss detail on it. So I'm going to put that on first as a center. And then I would just cut this straight and put that on with dimensionals. And I'm just going to show you the finished one here. But you can kind of get the gist of what it looks like. Then you just get some skewers. And you can see, look how uneven I did mine. Yours is going to look better. I put liquid glue on the skewer, and then I put it inside because there's all that room, and it's sticking really well. But then that's our little fun decoration. Okay, did we make everything? I feel like that was a lot today. So we're going to put this in. We have our super fun loaded envelope / bag. It's technically a little bag. And it'll sit up nice. I can't show you that on this camera, obviously, but it does stand up really good. But you can still see everything. So everything's kind of poking out. And then you've got this fun little gift set. I'm going to like bring you back up here. Thanks for sticking with me for that. That was fun. And I felt like I was talking a lot, but I hope that you liked learning how to do this. And so you could also do like a little chocolate or a little candy and like wrap it up in DSP, make another little tag with the rosettes and put it on top. And you can fit, there's room to put a chocolate or something in here for sure. But I just like how everything kind of pokes out. And then, like I said, you can definitely add gems to all of the projects. So this will be up on my website too, right? And so I've got those swirl dots on my original samples there, you can see. So that just adds to it. All right, that was fun. So thanks again. I hope that you liked seeing the Round We Go bundle, how all the pieces work, and how we can make a fun gift, a loaded envelope gift for somebody. And if you want to go back and see the pictures, check out my website, LoritamarieCrafts.ca. Today's the last day to register for my amazing July Stamp and Create class. So take advantage of that. And bonus days ends next Wednesday. So I'll be back, I think, next week. If not, I know I'm taking a week off, so it might be next week. But I will definitely keep you posted on social media and stuff. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.